we have to start establishing this is our place. From here on out, hey, this is what we play for. We're better safe than them. Let's go. Come on, go get it now. Let's go.
Welcome to the Dan Majerle Show. Barry Buetel alongside the head coach of the Lopes, Dan Majerle. And Coach, we are back to chat about conference play. It all gets started January 7th against Utah Valley, a big 10-point victory, 82-72. Josh Braun misses, 9 games, comes back. Were you a little worried how he would be back in return?
No, Josh is one of those gamers. He didn't have a great week of practice. He missed a lot of games, like you said, but I know when the lights are on, Josh is going to play hard, and he rises to the moment, and he did it for sure. To come back and have 31 points in his first game, first conference game was huge. Gave us a big lift, and it's always nice to get that first one, especially at home.
Did you have a team, because 2 games last year he averaged 32 points against the Wolverines. Did you have a team that you had their number?
It was Seattle.
Yeah.
George Karl liked to switch a lot and do a lot of things, so I got kind of a lot of open shots, so I always liked that. But Josh has done it to every team in this league. He's one of those guys that, like I said, when the lights are on, he's amazing, and he was really good that night.
And here's a team with Mark Pope. He had a lot of transfers, guys from Xavier and Utah and BYU, and you kind of wondered, at least from a fan's perspective, what kind of team he would have, and you certainly played very, very, very well against them.
Yeah, they're good. They're a lot better. They got older guys and guys who are talented, so I was a little nervous about that game, as I am every game, and but we came in, our crowd was terrific, and we played hard. And like I said, with Josh giving us that lift, and Dwayne played well, and we had other guys step up, so it was a good way to get our season started conference-wise. Including
Kerwin. 12 points, 9 boards. He's been kind of inserted now in a little bit more minutes, the starting lineup, so to speak. How have you been?
Yeah, he's been good. He's it's like you say all the time, when your number's called, you got to be ready to play. And Kerwin has worked hard, redshirted last year, and he's taken advantage of starting.
Then you traveled a couple of nights later. You traveled to New Mexico State. Las Cruces, a tough place to win for any team to come into that place, but the Lopes have had their troubles in Las Cruces, and you fell to the Aggies.
Yeah, we started off not real well. I think we were 1 from 11 from the free throw line, and really bad. We battled. We were down. Went into halftime with a sizable lead, but we came out in the second half, knocked it down to 2. Really fought well, just didn't do a good job, especially in the second half in rebounding. Second shot, chance points, and offensive rebounds for them really killed us. So I thought we played better, but we just couldn't make any free throws at the beginning, and then late, just not rebounding the basket.
Yeah, the rebounding, because I know that after the game you talked about the fact that your team shot 62% in the second half, but the rebounding margin was just so big.
Yeah, and it was 2 guys for them that really did it. 2 guys who were just very athletic and wanted it more for whatever reason that night. So, we just got to get ready for them when we play them here, and we got to understand that we're going to have to box them out and get the 50-50 balls.
Though, that if you were a little bit better at the line and rebounding, just a couple of strengths that you guys usually play very well with.
Yeah, like I said, we couldn't make any free throws, and that put us in the hole early, but we did battle back, and if you're not going to make free throws, you're not going to rebound. It's going to be hard to win, especially on the road.
Well, I know that it was a big message was delivered because of that rebounding deficit when you guys traveled to UTRGV to take on the Vaqueros, because you were 1 rebound shy of your season high with 46 going into that game.
Yeah, that's always a tough place to play too. That's a hard road trip, and we started off well there. They fought back and narrowed it down to 1 at halftime, but then we found a way. Jared made 3 big threes in the second half. Dwayne played well. Josh was big at the free throw line. Darian Clark got hurt again, so he didn't play, but other guys stepped up, and it was a group effort as far as rebounding. Our guards, Dwayne had 5, I think Josh had 5, and the other guys stepped up. So Keontae had a huge game with the way he played. So that was good, and that was our first true road win. So anytime you can get a road win, especially in the league, it's great.
Yeah, Keontae with a career best 20 points, 9 boards in the game. Not a bad effort.
Not a bad effort. Keontae's had some good games this year. He's just got to be more consistent. And when he plays like that, it makes us a lot better team.
So much better when he stays out of foul trouble,
yeah.
Which for the most part he's done pretty well at.
He's done better. He has. He's starting to learn a little bit that he can't get away with the cheap ones.
And the foul line, it was a problem at New Mexico State, but Braun, Martin, and Carr were 18 for 18 from the line. Of course, Josh was 11 of 11.
Well, Josh is always going to shoot great free throws, so if he goes to the line 11 times, that's going to be better. Kerwin's just got to be able to step up and, at this point, just give us 1 or 2 maybe. His free throw percentage is pretty bad. And then Keontae, again, with his physical nature, he's got to find a way to make free throws.
All right, we're just getting started. Stay with us. Josh Braun will stop by as we continue with the Dan Majerle Show after this timeout. Welcome back to the Dan Majerle Show. Barry Buetel alongside Josh Braun. Back to the show, Josh, and you're back to the starting lineup.
Yeah.
What was it like as you hit the court against Utah Valley after missing, 9 games?
Yeah, I missed quite a few games, so I was itching to get back. It was good to get back out on the court and make some plays for the team and have fun getting out there and battling with them again.
What was that week of preparation getting into it? Was it kind of hard to kind of get back into that game shape?
Yeah, still getting back into that game shape. Day by day, every day getting a little bit better, feeling more comfortable out there and stuff. And it's just there's only so much you can do while you're injured to stay in basketball shape. I was on the elliptical every day, before I was allowed to run, and started running, trying to get back into shape. But nothing really simulates getting out there on the basketball court like actually playing basketball. So we're taking time, but we're getting into it, and it's good to be back.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that first game back. It's Utah Valley, and a team I'm sure doesn't want to see you all too soon, because last 2 games last season, 32 points on average. Then you come out and you score 31 points in the game. I mean, you had to feel good.
No, definitely felt good. During that time I was out too, got really bulked up upper body during the summer, so it was good to kind of have some time to kind of slim down a little bit, make sure I was eating healthy and drop some weight, so I felt a little lighter out there on the court. Was able to move a lot better. Felt a lot better out there, so it was good to get out there and have some fun.
You've been tested with injury, obviously, throughout your career, but this team this season also has been tested.
Yeah.
Has that made this team a little bit stronger, knowing that some guys maybe that weren't going to be called upon are being called upon?
Well, it's making a lot of guys have to mature early, get used to playing early. I think it's a big deal. Anybody has to step up. It was good. It stinks, definitely, not having all the guys. It's tough not having all the guys. We wish we'd have a full squad, everybody healthy. Some of the guys that went out earlier in the year, and like Kenzo, Boubacar, we wish they were healthy throughout the season. But a lot of guys have to step up, and it gives a lot of guys opportunities to improve and get better and come out there and learn from experience. So it's been, I think, a good thing for the team, but a bad thing at the same time. But I think overall we're making the most of it. We're dealing with the adversity well, and we're moving on.
Well, you began WAC play 1-0, but then you travel for the first road game, and that's at Las Cruces against New Mexico State. And this team's playing really well under their first-year head coach, Paul Weir. They certainly got your number, and you made some mistakes that that you can do better at next time.
Oh, definitely. We didn't shoot the ball particularly well. We made quite a few mistakes. Just we could play a lot better. A lot more aggressive on the boards. We didn't rebound well, didn't box out well. Like you said, a lot of turnovers, a lot of little mistakes that we can clean up. Definitely can clean up, and so we're looking forward to doing that here at home when we get to play them again.
But then a couple of nights later, I know the message was delivered loud and clear by the coaching staff.
Yeah.
The rebounding, and obviously you improved also at the free throw line. You were a perfect 11 for 11 at UTRGV, but rebounding margin as well was huge, and a big road victory, your first of the year.
Yeah, no, that was big for us. That's what we were saying. We hadn't had a road win yet. We'd won some at neutral sites, but really need to get that road win. And UTRGV is a tough place to play. That gym's a tough spot because it's not like a lot of different gyms. It's a different feel, and we haven't played very well there in times past. And so it was good, going in knowing that and saying we need to make sure that we're on point today, making sure that we're making the adjustments that we needed, that we made mistakes in the game before, and coming out playing, ready to play and getting after it. So it was good to get a win there. It was good to kind of fix a few things that we didn't do well earlier in the week, and it's nice to finish with that first home run.
Now, this show will be seen after your game against Seattle University on Saturday evening, a team that really knocked you guys out here at home, 59-57, in just a tough loss, especially on home court where you guys pretty much dominated last year, as you do every season. But the WAC seems to be getting a lot better. I mean, Pope came in, Coach Pope, and Utah Valley, a lot of transfers, and here's a Seattle team that's playing really well. UMKC's playing well. Even Chicago State, Fred Sims Jr. playing well as well. Have you noticed the improved play throughout the conference?
No, definitely. I think overall, the WAC's gotten a lot better, and so that just means we have to step our game up as well. Our goal's always been to win the WAC, and so that's what we're out here trying to do. And you got to make sure that we step in and step up to the competition. We make sure that we're improving just as much as the rest of the WAC's improving. Like you said, it's good for the conference. Everybody's playing well. Everybody's really stepping up their game, and we got to make sure we do the same. Continuously get better.
Hey, continuously get better for yourself, and continue to stay healthy.
You got it.
All right, Josh, thanks for joining us. Stay with us. More of the Dan Majerle Show continues after we take this time out. Welcome back to the Dan Majerle Show. We have moved over to the Lopes Performance Center to be joined now by the head coach of the GCU softball team, Ann Pearson. Anna, always great to chat with you. And we are ready for another softball season. What a season it was just a year ago, 35-15. Second overall in the Western Athletic Conference, tied with UMKC at 10-5 to those Aggies from New Mexico State. But you had to be really pleased because you had a lot of newcomers last year.
Yeah, I was very happy with the team last year and what we accomplished. We always want to win the WAC. That's our goal every year. We came up a little bit short, but overall, our RPI was very high, very strong, and would have put us in good position to be in the conversation for postseason in year 3. So really proud of the kids. Had a tremendous staff to work with, and from strength and conditioning to athletic training to my assistant coaches, everybody across the board had their hands on that season last year, so we're hoping to better it this year.
Well, now this season you come in and it looks like only a couple of seniors have left, and one of them, Nicole Newberry, at third base. But with that newcomers, you still have leadership. You still have a lot of seniors on this team. What's this team going to look like here come this season?
Well, we have Bailey and Taylor anchoring the pitching staff, which is fantastic. We'll have a healthy Mariah this year, and we'll also have a freshman, Bobo, will be coming in, and she's going to get some innings too. Completely veteran coaching or catching staff, and so we're happy to have Kenzie back. She was our starter last year. And then we've got Camry Wortman anchoring down the infield. We've got Jenna Coates in the outfield, and then we've also got Lainey Gomez in the outfield. So our outfield, our starting outfield is returning. We did lose Nicole Newberry. When we moved her over to first last year, we brought Sierra Smith in from the outfield, and she did a tremendous job. So I expect the twins to be over on the left side sophomore year. They did a great job as freshmen, so we're just looking to build on that.
That's Shay and Sierra Smith, right here in the Valley. There's some great talent here that plays softball right here in our own backyard, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're fortunate to get to stay in Arizona to do recruiting. We can win with the Arizona kids, and we want to keep them home. We want their families to get to see them play and build on that in-state tradition.
You mentioned your RPI, and you're not afraid to take on the best teams in the entire nation. And this schedule, as you look at it, this upcoming schedule, you're at Stanford, you're at Arizona, you got Washington coming in, you're taking on UConn, BYU. Are you ready for this?
Well, we're going to see. We're going to see if we're ready. It helps us to schedule tough. It helps us for the RPI. It helps us for the experience. Helps us to learn as a staff, as a program, and it tells us where we're at. And a lot of the kids that we're recruiting, they want to come to a small university. They want to come to a Christian environment, and they want to play the top teams as well. So that helps us in recruiting, and we want to get into the top 25, and we've got to see where we're at and figure out where we need to go to get there.
Well, part of the 10-2 initiative for GCU Athletics, 10 new facilities in just 2 short years, and softball is going to be a recipient of that. And it's coming to fruition. You're seeing the infield come in, and the infield dirt has been placed where the pitching mound's going to be. Home plate is in there as well. How excited are you for this new stadium?
Well, it's been surreal, actually. They've talked about it for a while, but the timing, for this year was spot on, and we're very grateful to President Mueller, to the administration, to put in this beautiful facility. You have expectations and kind of what you're thinking it's going to look like, and just walking around out there and talking to the construction crew and the electricians and the plumbers, and it's just surpassed every expectation I've had. It's going to be unbelievable. We're really excited.
It's going to be fantastic. Of course, it all begins February 10th, Northern Colorado, and your season begins. Now, let's talk a little bit about off the field. The highest GPA in all Division I athletics right here at GCU with your squad. You've got to be equally as proud of those accomplishments off the field.
I am. The kids have really upheld their commitment academically, but this is a team effort. It's not just our team, it's the professors we have at GCU. It's the academic development program we have. It's the tutors that the kids have the opportunity to work with. So it's their commitment and their hard work, but we have a lot of support around them, and we appreciate that they buy into that part of the philosophy of being a part of the GCU softball program. So very proud of them.
Obviously, the amenities at the stadium are going to be first class, and obviously the support that all the athletic teams get here are really, really important. To have that support to push you guys up to the top of the conference and top of all collegiate softball.
Absolutely. The facilities, the support, the growth of the university, everything that they're pouring back into GCU, it makes recruiting so much easier. And kids are excited about wanting to come here. We're excited to be working here. The kids are excited that are already here. So it's just a really good atmosphere to be in. And we hear that from the recruits and the families that we bring on campus. They just can't believe what an atmosphere it is.
It's going to be great. We encourage everybody to come out and support GCU softball, and always a pleasure to speak with you. Best of luck this season.
Thank you.
Stay with us. More of the Dan Majerle Show continues after we take this time out. Welcome back to the Dan Majerle Show. Well, we know from watching the Lopes that it takes teamwork to win. So GCU is taking that same formula and teaming up with the community to become united by purpose.
Therefore, if you have any encouragement from being united with Christ, then make my joy complete by being like-minded, having the same love, being one in spirit, and of one mind. Change throughout time is inevitable, and how you respond to it shows your character. You may welcome the change or be forced to respond to it, but embracing it can lead to an amazing transformation. West Phoenix once thrived during the 50s and 60s as a flourishing middle-class neighborhood pioneered by iconic home builder and visionary John F. Long. It was known for its affordable single-family homes, parks, churches, and bustling retail establishments. Communities, of course, change over time, and the area of West Phoenix gradually began to suffer from urban decline. But West Phoenix is still where many people, and Grand Canyon University, call home. And while some may choose to walk away from an economic downfall, GCU chose to be united by purpose and provide a hand up.
This would have been inconceivable to many that have watched this neighborhood in the 50s and 60s deteriorate from being a middle-class neighborhood to being the worst crime area in Arizona, really. But there's something special about this neighborhood because of the percent of immigrants. And they're really hungry, and they're not entitled, and they want to experience a part of the American dream, and they're willing to work really hard for it. And it rubs off on their children, and their children are doing great things in school, and with a little bit of a hand up, it's amazing what they can do. We really believe that we can make this neighborhood very safe. We can get the housing values up considerably. We can improve the homes. We can get the public school system to perform at all-time high rates, and we can be a job creator.
Formerly Grand Canyon College, GCU transformed from a college on the verge of bankruptcy in the early 2000s into a strong university today with academic growth and formidable community impact. Change, driven by financial intervention, a reinvigorated vision, and a commitment to a Christian mission, propelled the university into a new era of transformative growth.
We know the story of GCU in terms of education. It is the nation's fastest growing university. It's a university that's just not focused on the college student. GCU is focused on high school students, on K-3 education. It's an organization that's focused on the parents of those students. It's a vision, and if you want to see a vision in action, step on the campus there.
One of the things that's so amazing to me about GCU is GCU is working really hard on the belief system. I think that belief system that they could do it, and that they actually went on vision field trips when we took them in grades 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade to Grand Canyon and told them to see themselves in a few years graduating from Grand Canyon. I think that's what it's all about, and I think that's wonderful. I think if we can all keep working together, we'll see more and more kids in this area realize their dreams.
I'm most proud of our students. We've taken on a brand as a university because of our students. They come here certainly because of the growing reputation of the academic programs that we have. But more important than that, they come because the university has a larger mission to figure out how we can use a university to eradicate poverty and spread prosperity to an entire neighborhood. I can't tell you how many students now are choosing this university because they want to take part in that.
Human capital is what our companies are looking for when they move into the market. They're looking for an educated, operational, easy to function, easy to ramp up workforce, and a dedicated workforce, and one that's pretty stable. When you look at the area around GCU, it's a very stable neighborhood. It's about 17 years is the average home ownership in that neighborhood. So it's exactly what companies are looking for. And by educating that community, it's elevating those job opportunities through the entire neighborhood. So when you look at the way that GCU has revolutionized West Phoenix nearly single-handedly, I think the best is yet to come.
Transformed with over 17,000 traditional students, over 60,000 online students, and a campus with unprecedented growth, GCU found itself in a place of influence and a position to give back, to extend efforts beyond academics, to serve as a business operating foundation for free enterprise, to break into the community with empowering initiatives and promising partnerships, to return West Phoenix to a safe middle-class place to live.
The university's been a great partner with the city in seeing the neighborhood, which is always a great neighborhood, always a great part of the city, but had fallen on harder times over the last few years. To see that turnaround in such a short period of time, we want to be as supportive and helpful as possible as we can to see this great transformation.
I think the biggest goal was to establish a greater sense of safety and community in the surrounding neighborhood, and I think we've been very successful at that. If you talk to people, they will tell you their perception of safety is greater than it's ever been. And that's saying something, because if you sit back and think about it, what's most important to us as a police department is that people feel safe. And I can't help but think that it's not just because of the presence of the police department, it's because of the presence of a true partnership with Grand Canyon University.
What I have really noticed with Grand Canyon's investment is a sense of hope, connectedness. We're not in this alone as principals, teachers, students. Rather, we have partners in the community who are here to support us, support our students, support our teachers, and I think that's really made all the difference.
GCU's purpose is not only to inspire its local community, but inspire other struggling communities to both embrace and chase change to create brighter futures for all. Transformation has already begun for West Phoenix, and it's only the beginning. Follow GCU's story that shares how a collaborative coalition of many continues to impact a larger mission. See how strong local partnerships, united by purpose, are transforming a community with profound potential.
We know that teamwork makes the dream work, everyone pulling together for a common cause. Stay with us. More of the Dan Majerle Show continues after we take this time out. Welcome back to the Dan Majerle Show. For our final segment, we'll talk about you guys going back out on the road. You go to UMKC and then Chicago State after this brief homestand. And UMKC, here's a team that's about 500. You beat them twice last year. A team that is led by the likes of Lavelle Boyd.
Yeah, it'll be a tough matchup. They're a team that likes to get out and score. They press. Boyd's a really good shooter. It's always a good game when we play there. They're very competitive, and obviously they want to beat us. So that'll be tough. We'll have to go there and try to find a win. And then Chicago State, you never know what you're going to get there. You know, they're a team that has gotten some wins early this year, have played well, will press. They got a couple guys who can really shoot too, so it'll be an interesting trip.
Fred Sims Jr. on Chicago State. Is it tough going in? I know that UTRGV didn't have a huge crowd as well, but is it tough to kind of get some life? I mean, you get so much here at home. That
yeah, I tell our guys we're spoiled all the time, and they see that on the road. So I think it just makes us appreciate more than what we have. But it doesn't. We know what's in stake for us as far as going on the road in the WAC. So we want to win games.
Thanks so much to head coach Dan Majerle, and thanks to you for tuning into the Dan Majerle Show.